Hi guys, Tracy here with another scrapbooking process video. This is another Project Life process, so I'm going to be using the This Life Noted kit from the Scraptastic Kit Club. I'm using a couple of kits, the June and the April kits, to do my pocket scrapbooking this time around. And you'll see that I'm actually starting off by, I'm going to print a photo with my Polaroid zip printer. And I'm printing a photo that is it's not a screenshot, it's actually a picture I took with my phone of my daughter's computer screen when she was playing a game that she really likes. And I also have a insert here which is of the Taste of Lebanon. It's part of the Lebanese festival that's going on in Halifax right now, and we went to that today. And I'm really excited to be doing this video and doing the scrapbooking on the day of the last day of the week that I'm covering here. So I am literally up to date as of right now. So I just took a Becky Higgins 6 by 12 inch pocket page protector. And I will show you that again at the end. I'll show you how that ended up. So I kind of glued a few things to it, and I'll show you how it turned out at the end. So I have a bunch of photos here from this week, and not a whole lot though. You'll notice that I have considerably fewer photos than last time, and some of them are very overlapping with one another. So for example, I had 3 pictures of my watch. I don't really need 3 pictures of my watch in my project life. So I'm kind of going to play around with I almost find that when I have fewer photos, it takes me a little bit longer and it's a little bit more challenging, because even though I have plenty to fill the space with in terms of filler cards and ideas, I just feel like there's too many options. Whereas when there's lots and lots of photos, there's hardly any options. You just kind of have to fit them in whatever way they fit. So once I have the photos all laid out on my spread in pretty much the order that they're going to be in, I set about deciding which cards are going to go under these photos. And in this case, I'm kind of moving them around a little bit as well. And so let me see here. So I'm looking through and looking for cards, and as I'm doing this, the yellow is really popping out, and I'm thinking I like the yellow color scheme, and I've got a little bit of blue from the photo of the pool and also from that quote at the top. And so I thought I might choose yellow to dominate this layout. I don't often do this. I don't usually decide on a color scheme for a layout. I usually just kind of go with whatever pops out. I really love this quote that I have on that card that I'm not using. It's off to the side, and I would love to use it. So I'm going to keep it in the back of my mind that I might switch a card so that I can use that quote card, and you'll see that come up. So I'm going to just jump in by starting to scrapbook. So this is a card that says this photo, and then on the other side it says tells this story. And so I learned my lesson about gel pens and stencils, and I'm not going to be outlining these with gel pens. Instead I outlined it with a pencil, and it's a good thing because I didn't have it at all centered. It was way too off center, and everything else on this card is very symmetrical and centered, and so I didn't want one thing to be off center. So I erased it and retraced it, and now I have my swatch book out and I'm looking at my gel pens, and I've decided to go with just my regular jelly roller and to outline the shapes of these. And I really like freehand outlining something that's been traced, because you're bound to go off a little bit when you're outlining, but not off so much, and so it almost gives it like a hand-drawn type of look, because of the imperfections in the outlining. Whereas if I had traced it, not only would it have smeared underneath of my stencil, which I found out in my last video, but also it would have had that perfect stenciled look. And I like that this has a hand, it's imperfect. It's imperfect. So now I have my red gel pen, and it's the glitter gel pen. So I think they're called Stardust. And I just colored in the outline, and it was really easy because it's already outlined in black. And I think that looks pretty good. I'm a little eager to do my journaling. I'm going to look up the Instagram photo. First, I think I got distracted by a couple of comments. But I quickly made my way back to my Instagram photo. And there, see, I smeared. I'm a little too eager to do my writing, and the gel pen isn't quite dry. So I just put a little package over top of the gel pen part that isn't dry yet so that I'm not smearing it. And I'm just writing out the things that we ate at the Lebanese festival. We go to the Lebanese festival every single year. We love it there. We go to all of the multicultural festivals that we can go to. We go to the Greek one every year and the Lebanese one every year. And if we can make it, we go to the multicultural festival as well. So look at me, I'm stamping even more. And this time I'm pulling out stamps from my stash. These are old stamps. They're Kelly Purkey foodie stamps, and I love, love, love them. And I'm sorry that I'm out of frame, but there we go. I'm coming back into frame. So I'm going to use my Misty again. And I'm using a phrase here. I can't remember what it says. I hope we'll see it when I stamp it. But it's a cute little phrase. I love the graphic nature of Kelly Purkey's stamps. It says, "It was delicious," and it's right above the fork and knife and spoon. And it just fills up that bottom line of journaling that I didn't have enough of my own ideas to fill. So the stamp fills it nicely. And now I'm just using a little bit of dry liquid paper to remove that little smear that was in place from when I tried to journal over and lay my hand on top of the gel pen. And now I'm taking out my Studio Calico foodie stamp set. I've got a couple of foodie stamp sets. And this one says nom nom nom. Or maybe it just says nom nom. Anyhow, I love it. I love this stamp. I've used it a lot over the years, but I have not used it lately. And so I'm just looking up the spelling of the dessert that she's eating because I don't want to misspell it. And there are a couple of different ways of spelling it, and the way that they spelled it at the festival is very different than it's not very different, but it's just a little bit different than the way it was online. And so I was going to pick that up and stamp it with my block, but you know, I really like the control that you have when you use the Misty. So I'm going to use it for, the Misty did a great job of positioning that journaling stamp right in the right spot. So I'm going to go ahead and use it here. There's no reason not to. I just have to make sure that I remember to line up my card. These are older stamps, so they don't stick to the card the way that those other ones do that gave me grief last time, so there's no worries there. So that's so cute. It says nom nom nom, and it picks up on the red in her sweater too because I stamped it in red. I used Mama Elephant ink for that. And so I just have a picture here of my Apple Watch, which was new. I got it this week, and I was very anti-Apple Watch. I thought that they were really overpriced, but they've reduced the price because they're coming out with new ones. And so now that it's less expensive, and plus my husband does work at the Apple store, so we get a family discount on some of the products that we buy. And so anyhow, we got it for a pretty good deal, and I decided I was going to buy a watch, like a non-smart watch, and the amount of money I was going to spend on just like a fashion watch was a lot, and so Scott convinced me to get an Apple Watch. So, and also I have a fitness tracker that I was going to buy a battery for and start wearing again, so this way I'll just do this instead. It's a watch and a tracker in one. And so I hate the phrase work hard, play hard. And so I'm covering it up but I really like the card. I like the typography of that card. I like the white font with the red outline on the yellow background. I think it's really sharp and graphically, I just really, really love it. And I like how it's all justified and pretty. So I decided to just use it as a design element. So I covered it up with the picture of the watch. And that's just the design that the watch makes when it's first connecting itself and setting up. So I took a picture of it because I knew that I'd never see that again. Although I guess if I reset the watch, I'll see it again. So this is the photo that I printed with my little zip printer, and it does have an adhesive backing on it. So I just took off the backing and put it on that card, and the card says play on. So it's great for a video game. And then I'm just writing the name of it. It's slither.io, slither.io or whatever. I think she calls it Slitherio. And I'm just doing some journaling along the side of it. I always make my journaling, my sideways journaling always has the same orientation. It always goes from the bottom to the top. It never goes from the top to the bottom. And that just makes my pages be consistent from page to page and also different places on the page. And I knew I had these these freckled fawn book related epoxy stickers. And so this one says favorite book, and she is reading her favorite book. She's read this book many, many, many times. And I thought she looked so cute sitting there in the sunshine on the couch reading a book, that I just had to take her picture. So I put it in my project life. And the teacup card, I just like the teacup card. I thought it was really cute. There's nothing to do with tea on this card or in this story or in the photo, but I just thought it was really, really cute and I wanted to use it. So you don't always have to theme your cards with your stories. Who says you have to? You don't. I am coming down with a cold as I speak. My voice is going. I'm like having to stop the narration and cough every 5 minutes. I don't know what's going on. So I know this is a bird card background and there's no birds on it, but that's okay. So I noticed that frame, I thought it would look nice over the photo of Olivia eating the dessert at the Lebanese festival. And the Lebanese festival sign is in the background. I wanted to make sure that the frame didn't cover it up. So here I am just doing some journaling on the pool deck of the photo. And I just stuck that bird die cut on there because, well, it's the same bird that's on the background of the photo. And I'm just doing really messy, scribbly outlining here. And never mind that there's no bird anywhere. It's okay. So remember that quote that I really liked and I thought I might trade that card out for another one? I've decided to use the quote, but I'm going to cut up the card instead of leaving it as it is. It has these really cute little journaling strips on it anyway, so it's very conducive to cutting it up. I just tried to cut it so that some of the pink outline around the edges of the journaling strips were left intact. So sometimes that was really tricky because there was only one thickness of outline between two lines of journaling, but I made it work so that there was at least a sliver of the pink. And now I'm going to dribble some Heidi Swapp Gold Color Shine all over this card, just because it's going to be pretty plain. It's not going to have a photo or anything. And I like how that looks. And then there's the quote. And I like how the yellow on this card, like the yellow circle, and also the gold splatter, it picks up on, remember I said at the beginning how I really want the yellow to pop out on this spread, which is again unusual for me. I don't usually have a plan for a color scheme, but I want to kind of try to emphasize yellow throughout this page. And so, but I am going to move it so that it's not right beside that work hard, play hard card because they're just too similar. They both have exactly the same shade of yellow and there's just too much yellow together there. So just doing that switch with the plaid card. It also puts the two phone pictures beside each other. I probably didn't need two phone pictures on one spread, but as you know, this spread is kind of lacking in pictures anyways, so it's okay. Now, I sprinkled on one card, and one thing about doing ink splatters on Project Life for me, I don't do it all that often, but when I do it, I like to do it on multiple cards. I don't like to just have one card with splatter because it seems like it was an afterthought or like it doesn't belong. And so I just picked out 2 other cards that were in 2 different spots, so not close to one another, on the spread, and I sprinkled on them as well. And I made them be similar to the other card with sprinkles, which is that they're cards that don't have photos and don't have my journaling. So they're just text cards or filler cards. So the spread is almost finished. I'm just having a look at some of the embellishments that came in the kit to see if there's any last minute additions that I want to make. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to just add this sticker right here. Brings a little bit more gold into the page as well. And I'm just thinking about some other things. I'm going to put this gray arrow right there. That'll be the final touch for that card. I thought about doing the purple one, but I think the gray is going to work better because it's an electronics themed card. So I'm going to come in and show you the close-ups of these cards right now. All right, so I'm going to start by showing you this little insert. So this is just the pamphlet from the Lebanese festival that we went to today. And then on the other side of this is an insert from, actually it ideally would have gone a page before this. This is, I don't know if you guys are going to think this is weird or not, but this is a photograph of the letter or the little note that I gave to Sophia in the card that I gave her when she was going away. And I wrote this letter, and then I felt like I wanted to journal it too, and I kind of felt like my journaling would be exactly the same thing as the letter. So I just took a picture of the letter, and I thought this will serve as my journaling about saying goodbye to Sophia. So that's what I did. It made sense to me, and it worked, so that's what I did. So here's the first 2 cards. Love the scribbly outlining. I have to do more of that. Especially this. I love the really messy on this. I have to do more of that. I used to do it all the time. And yeah, there's random birds on this card. That's okay. I like them. So my Heidi Swapp Color Shine finally started doing what everybody says theirs does and complains about, and making these little halos of like oily spots. Mine never did that before, and now it does, so that's kind of disappointing. It doesn't do it on every single splot, but it does it on the big splots. So anyhow, it's supposed to look messy anyway, so I'm just kind of trying to forget about it. So here's that photo from my zip printer. I'm really impressed with the quality. I mean, there's streaks on it, like it kind of, I don't know if you're going to be able to catch the texture if I shine the light on it, but there's sort of streaks on it, like it kind of looks like it's scratched, like the surface of it isn't scratched, but it isn't. It feels very smooth. But it's much higher quality than I thought it was. Mind you, it's still not a high quality printer. Like these are not going to be the prints that you're going to want to capture your family memories with. But for this kind of a fun photo that, you know, doesn't really matter, it's good for that sort of thing. So the journaling says Liv has been playing Slither Rio and was proud of how large this guy got. So you have to try to get your worm or snake or whatever it is bigger and bigger and bigger. So this is just the filler card, and all I did was sprinkle some mist splatter. Here's that work hard, play hard card that I covered up. It says, I did not think I would ever have an Apple Watch, but Scott was able to get me one for a reasonable price. Now to learn how to use it. And I do really like it. It's quite handy, actually. It takes some getting used to because it's not a repetition of your phone. It's kind of like a satellite to your phone. So it doesn't, so you can receive notifications and stuff, and you can reply to texts and certain messages, but not every single thing can be done on your watch, so it's a little bit different. But I do really like it. I really like it a lot. Anyhow, I have an app that helps you change your habits, and I met my goal for all 3 things one day. So that's kind of cool. And one day, yeah, only one day. Because I only set the goals 2 days ago, so. So there's that washi tape from my stash. I just put 3 pieces on so that it would be darker in the middle and then lighter on the edges. And that watch sticker is from one of the Scraptastic sticker sets, and then that acrylic piece. And then here is this card that says, "This photo tells this story." So here's the photo, and I just added that sticker at the last minute. And then the story says, "Enjoying falafel, tabbouleh, grape leaves, za'atar, hummus, and shawarma at the Lebanese festival." And then "It was delicious," of course, is that stamp. Kelly Perky stamp. And then we have the Nom 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 with the Nom 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 stamp and the frame. And then here's what this card looked like. I really like it. So that's what this spread looks like. I'm going to put it in my scrapbook now. So here's my Project Life album, and here is where we're at right now. So this was last week's page, and now here's this week's page all in place. And I'm actually going to put this insert, even though it has one thing from this week and one thing from the flipped week. I'm going to put it here. Yeah, I'm just going to put it here because it makes the most sense. And what I did with this was I took that 6x12 page protector that I showed you at the beginning of the video, and I just ran my fuse tool down the side of it, and then I used my trimmer to trim it up, and I had a bit of trouble here for some reason, and trimmed it that way and trimmed it here as well. So there we go, another week done, and I feel like I'm on top of the world because I'm completely caught up with my Project Life. It is July 10th, and I'm finished up until July 10th, so as long as nothing big happens between now and when I go to bed in about 3 minutes, everything, then I can go to bed knowing that I'm completely caught up. So thanks so much for watching, and have a really great scrappy week.